Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Coplove and I'm the art teacher at Henry L. Marsh Elementary School. Today we will be marbling with food coloring and shaving cream. Now marbling is when you change the surface of paper or fabric to give a kind of a tie-dye, swirl, or marble effect using different colors. Now marbling can be done with different liquids and dyes and inks and food coloring, or it can be done with shaving cream. Today, we will be marbling fabric. So I have a couple of shirts right here. They are older shirts, and this one's my daughter's. And instead of getting rid of it, we are going to transform it into a beautiful masterpiece. I haven't finished the back, but I did the front earlier, and here is what I'm hoping to do today with you all. Okay, so let's get started with marbling. All right. So today you will need these materials. All right. You will need a container. So it doesn't have to be a glass baking dish, but a glass baking dish would work. So would a aluminum pan or anything with an edge, a cookie sheet, anything with an edge that could hold the shaving cream that we're going to be using today inside of it. So you don't want anything too flat, and you want it to be large enough to fit what you are marbling in. So if you're marbling paper or if you're marbling fabric, you want to be able to put that inside. So it has to be able to fit inside of your container, okay? As I said before, we're going to need shaving cream. The fluffier, the better. So I have this Barbasol right here, okay? You're going to need food coloring. This is just regular food coloring from the dollar store. It is a food coloring gel. So if it says gel on it, it's fine as well. If you don't have food coloring and you have acrylic paint or tempera paint, those will work, but they're not going to dye the fabric as deeply and as well as the food coloring, okay? And then I have a fork, a regular old fork. You can use a plastic fork to marble with. A regular fork is fine, right? This is going to be to swirl the color through the shaving cream and create all sorts of swirls and patterns and beautiful, beautiful textures inside of your shaving cream with the color. Now here is a comb. This comb has 3 different sections. The prongs are spaced differently, and I can use the comb to design on top of my shaving cream because that's how you get the image and the colors in the patterns that you want them to go into for your design, okay? And then a spatula. The spatula is going to be used to scrape off any extra shaving cream at the very end of this project. And of course, some paper towels are always, always handy dandy. Now, if you want to keep your clothes nice and clean, this project can get a little messy. And since we're working with dyeing fabrics, the fabric that you're wearing can also get dyed as well. So you don't want to transform a color of the shirt that you're wearing unless you really want to. So I recommend wearing an old shirt or an apron or some sort of covering, just in case you get a little bit of the food coloring on your clothes. Now, if you get food coloring on your hands, it's going to easily come off with some rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer and good old soap and water, right? Now, remember, if you are doing this project and you're using all these fun, messy materials, make sure that you're cleaning up after yourself. I always tell my kids and my students, they make the mess, they have to clean it up, right? So if you're getting out all of these materials, please put them back where you got them from so that your grown-up will want you to do this project again, right? Also, ask permission to use shaving cream. Now, there's other alternatives to shaving cream and marbling, such as cornstarch and water, and this algae and water mixture. Shaving cream is the easiest. Cornstarch also works. Shaving cream doesn't require water to be added to it. And so there's different ways to marble, all right? We just want the ink or the pigment to sit on top of whatever surface it's put onto so that the fabric or the paper can absorb all the beautiful colors, okay? All right, so those are our materials, our ingredients for this. I'm so excited. So here are some examples of 2 items that I've already marbled using shaving cream and food coloring, both of which you can find at any store, okay? So here's a tank top. Now I was gonna throw away this tank top. It was getting kind of old, but instead I made it new again by marbling it. Marbling looks similar to tie-dye. So if you've seen tie-dye shirts, it's a similar technique, only you get more wavy, marbled, like a marbled stone look to your design, all right? And so I've done a few marbling. There's one on a tank top, and then there is one on paper, and that one turned out phenomenal. I love it. There's also a shirt that I've done. Okay. Right, and once again, this was shaving cream and food coloring. So, right, and that's what we're going to do today. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my presentation and we're going to get started. So excited. Okay. So I have all of my materials here on my table. And throughout this process, I'm going to be talking to you while you're looking at what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't need my spatula yet, so I'm going to put it aside. All right, I'm making sure that my paper towels are nice and handy so that I can use them as I need to, because they might get a little bit messy. And that is okay. Make sure that you have a surface or a table that's cleared off and that you have all of your materials when you start the project. So you're not having to stop and going and getting things, right? All right, let's make sure we got all of this. I have a clear work area. I have the object that I'm going to be marbling and all my materials. I'm going to put my fork and my comb to the side because I need them soon. Now here are the primary colors. This is food coloring. And I have yellow, which looks kind of orange, but that's okay. I have red and I have blue. Okay. These will stain your skin if you leave it on too long, but mostly I got some on myself yesterday and it came right off, right? So I'm going to put these aside. I don't need them yet. Put them over here. All right, so next, I have my shaving cream, right? I'm going to take it. Shake, 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 shake. I don't want it to be too liquidy, and remember, I want it to be fluffy and bouncy so that the ink can sit on top of the shaving cream today. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and all shook up. You don't need a ton. It's going to expand. So really, a little goes a long way. Okay, so let's go. All right, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go in even, warm, swirly, whirly. See how it's growing as I'm spraying. Now this could be enough. I'm going to fill in the gaps a little bit. I don't need a whole jar container for this. There you go. And it smells fantastic. I'm going to put the top on this, right? And I'm going to put it aside. Okay, so I like the texture that I've created here. It's all bumpy and fun, but I want to smooth it out just a little bit so I have a nice canvas. So it's almost like I have a piece of paper to work on. So I'm going to kind of swirl, whirl. I'm taking the flat edge of my comb. You could take your spatula at this point and also spread it out. It's up to you. A butter knife works as well. Whatever materials you have laying around. And if your grown-up does not want you to use a comb, then a spatula is going to work fine with a fork. Now remember, this is all washable, and shaving cream is just like soap. So you can wash it off with warm water and soap, and everything will be fine. Okay, so I'm going to take the paper towel. I'm going to wipe off the extra shaving cream off my comb. I'm going to lay my paper towel down right here, and I'm going to put my comb on it. Now, I have a little bit of a mat underneath my container. So if that mat gets dirty, it is okay. But make sure that if you're working on a table that needs to be protected, please protect it with something. This could be aluminum foil or a placemat, something to cover it up. Okay, a paper bag works perfectly as well. Okay, so I have my canvas here, and it looks almost like food. It looks almost like food. Now, it is all covering each area. Now, I'm gonna add the color. Here comes the fun part. Are you ready for this? This is gonna be so much fun. All right, I think I'm gonna start off with the color red, and then I'm gonna do drops of blue, and then yellow to end. Then I'm gonna take my fork and then try out my comb to get different patterns and marbles throughout the shaving cream. Okay, are you ready? All right, so I said I was gonna start off with red first. I think so. It's only a little dots. And it's okay if it gets more than just dots. If it gets little lines or splatters, that is okay. Now that doesn't look like a lot. It just looks like polka dots. Okay. Putting the top back on this, and I'm putting it on the table. Now I'm going to add some blue. Like the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and they make all the other colors of the rainbow. So it should be really, really exciting and fancy. All right, I don't need a ton. A little bit of food coloring goes a very, very, very long way. Okay, and now I have yellow. The yellow comes out almost looking orange, but you'll see as I spread it out, it's going to be really bright yellow. All right, I think I have enough. You don't want to add too much or too close together. You also want to avoid tons of dark colors. Right, that's why I stuck with the primary colors. Black always tends to muddy it up, and I suggest not using black with more than one other color if black is an option, right? So here we go. All right, I'm gonna take my fork first, and I'm going to swirl it through my container. I'm gonna go on the surface first, and then I'm gonna see how it looks if I press deeper into the container and move it. All right, let's see. All right, so first I'm gonna go on the surface, and I'm just gonna go back and forth like this. Ooh, yes, that's beautiful. I love that. All right, now I'm gonna try going deeper. See where that gets me. Kind of mix it together. I don't wanna mix too much though. And whatever I create, it's gonna show up on shirt or piece of fabric or even a piece of paper. And I can print this a couple of times. So if you really like the colors that you've achieved, now remember I'm putting this on a paper towel. If you really like the colors you achieved or the patterns, you can always print again. All right, this will be good for a few prints. Ooh, I love it. Now I'm spreading this one out more than I have my others, and that's okay. Now remember, I'm using the primary colors, so I'm already seeing a lot of orange forming because of the red and the yellow. All right, I really like what I've made, and I'm gonna put this aside on a paper towel, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna take my shirt now. Now I've already done the front, so I'm gonna do the back. It's gonna look phenomenal. I'm so excited. All right, so here is the back of this shirt. Now this is a light pink shirt. It's okay if you use clothes with writing on it or with or that are like light colors, so yellows and pinks. And yes, there's my son who's trying to help me with this. So this is great for all ages. My son is 5, and I would suggest doing it with age 4 and up with parental supervision. So kindergarten through 2nd graders, you need an adult to help you out with this because it can get kind of messy. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it flat into the container, okay? All right, let's watch. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna lay it flat right here. And then I'm going to take it. Now remember, I've already dyed this side. So this side already has all those wonderful marble patterns and oh, it's so gorgeous, right? The other side though, we're gonna see what happens. So I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm gonna tap, 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 tap. You want the fabric to suck up all of that ink. The fabric's going to do that, and the fibers in the paper are going to do that too. Now avoid the urge to squish because it feels like a stress ball right now. The puffy shaving cream underneath, the fabric, it feels so squishy and so soft and so much fun. But if you squish it too hard, it's going to mix all the colors together and it's going to turn brown or very muddy, okay? So if that's not what you're trying to get, then don't squish. Avoid the urge to squish. You can give it a nice little back rub, a nice little swirl, a little tap, 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 and I think it's ready. Okay, friends, drum roll, please. Okay, see. And I'm gonna pull it up. Dun, da, 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 da. And that looks amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna hold on to it with one hand. And if you look, there's still so many patterns, so many marbles, so much color inside of this container that I can print other things over and over and over again until the color is all gone, okay? So this is not just a one-trick, one-shot dish. You can dip dye several things. So you want to dip dye shoes, you can easily dip both pairs of shoes in the same mixture. Now, when you marble, it's not always going to turn out exactly the same each time. And that's what's so exciting and fun and creative and wonderful about this project. Okay, so let me put this under here. All right, now I'm going to lay my shirt down. Now I'm going to go this way and I'm going to take my materials. And I have my spatula now, okay? My shirt is laid out, but it still has a little bit of the foam. And remember, I said, it's okay if you get it on yourself. Everything is washable, all right? I'm gonna take my spatula, I'm gonna hold my shirt down, and I'm gonna scrape it across my shirt just to get the extra foam shaving cream off, see? And I'm wiping it off. And then I'm doing this until all of the foam is off. Okay, and so I have it. I'm gonna keep going and keep going. And I'm gonna do this until it is all finished. And then I'm going to take it to the sink and run it underneath warm water. Okay, none of the color should drip out of it at this point, but the warm water is just to make sure that all the shaving cream is washed off. Shaving cream is like soap, so it will wash your clothes. It won't harm your clothes. And this, my friends, is now how it's going to look and how it's going to stay. There's very minimal ink that comes out or color that comes out after you run it through the warm water. And this is how your shirt or your paper or whatever you choose to marble is going to look like when you're all done, right? Thank you so much for inviting me into your home today. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I hope you have a great day.